Well, hi Chris, it is lovely to finally meet you properly. I just love you to tell our viewers what it is that you are doing.
And it's lovely to meet you too. Hi everyone, I'm Chris Harwood. I'm standing for the councillor in the Paraparaumu ward in the Kapiti Coast District Council elections this year. Something I never thought I'd be doing, just like I never thought I'd be doing this either. So just saying, I'm a bit nervous.
Well, you're doing so well. Look, isn't she doing great? Now, Chris, what I always love to ask everyone, because I'm always curious, what motivated you to get into this race?
The first motivation for me was when I retired, finished my paid income, and was settling down to enjoy my retirement here on the Kapiti Coast, and was hit by a 17% average rate rise. And I thought, oh, what's going on here? And then set about with a group of like-minded people who were also worried about the rates increase that we had that year, to find out what was going on, why our rates were going up so much, so quickly, and what the longer term plan was. And as I started to do that, not only was I really unhappy with not being able to figure out why my rates were so expensive, but I found it really hard to find out information full stop. It felt like the council didn't want to tell us what they were doing. And so I was part of a group called Concerned Ratepayers Kapiti. We formed a group to try and unpick what was going on with council and trying to influence some of the decisions they were making. And boy, did we find that hard. It was really hard to get information. We were often channeled down into using a very formal process called a Local Government Official Information Act request, a LGOIMA, and we had to wait 20 days to be told that information didn't exist in the form that we wanted it, and so we were refused the information. I found that in that time, several very significant decisions had been made by council with very little real input from the people of the Kapiti district. So our group, We Love Kapiti, is not only looking at rate rises and making some common sense spending decisions, we want to focus on putting democracy back on the table so that people can really engage with and be heard as part of the community that council should be working for. And so that's why, one of the reasons why I'm here today, to do just that.
She should have been a detective. Oh, wonderful. So you've joined together with We Love Kapiti team. What is the benefit? Tell us, what is the benefit in having a team? Because some of the comments that I've heard is like, well, we don't want everyone the same. So are you all the same?
We are most definitely not all the same. There are some that we have spent months threshing out our key pillars and our key points where we will stand together to fight for a particular direction or a particular outcome. And we will be doing that together at the council table. Rates, common sense, democracy. There's some things about coastal hazards and some things about making sure our regulatory environment supports business and business development. Other than that, we're all individuals and we have some really different opinions and ideas about what matters to us as people. But at the end of the day, what matters the most in any council, at any council table, is that we listen. We understand what the community wants, we understand how the community feels about things, and we make sure that we have given the community every opportunity to make those their views known. I've got some really good examples about when that didn't happen. recently, every council has had to develop a plan for water services. Local water done well. And when I talked to the council, I made a bit of a faux pas and said down the well, which is probably more to the point. When we tried to find out information about the decisions council was making, we could read a consultation document. It was written in comms speak. There was no detail, it was fluffy, it discounted options without telling you why. And when you went to a drop-in session to ask detailed questions, we were told things like, oh, it's very complicated, that's why we haven't given you the information. Or, here's a report you can go and find online and read it for yourself. It was really difficult to engage in a conversation with council staff about what was happening and why it was happening. And so as a group of ratepayers, we were unable to give a very clear feedback to the council about what we thought should happen and why. That's not good enough. Council's made some decisions that are going to take us decades into the future. It's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars into the future, and the voices of the community were not heard clearly. We don't want to continue like that. And that's why one of the key reasons why we need to be standing together for democracy.
Democracy, I mean, goodness, I think maybe most people like me would probably be ignorant about these things and thinking that that was already happening, but it clearly isn't. So thank you, Chris, for putting your investigator cap on and going and seeing what was really going on. So what do you think is your main passion, or is the democracy thing the greatest issue that you can see at this point?
Well, when I spoke recently, I talked about my dream, and my dream was that the planned rate rises would not happen. We want to work with the community to look at how we can reduce spending across council, how we can make common sense decisions about what is actually required, what's not required, and not gold plate everything, and make life affordable back here in Kapiti. For me, the way of doing that is making sure that we actually stand true to our principles around democracy. Democracy isn't something that happens every 3 years when people vote. It is something that happens with every interaction, every decision, everything that happens in between those 3 years as a council makes the governance decisions about what goes on in our world. So I'm standing for local democracy, making sure that local people make decisions for local needs, making sure that we've got local choice, that residents actually have some choices in front of them, that they know what's going on, and that they can add their views into the mix. And I'm also standing for local accountability, which is something our council doesn't seem to do at the moment. Our team will hold ourselves accountable for delivering on what we say we're going to do.
So do you see that there really is the power then in the team when it comes to having accountability?
Yes. I think that if you have a collective vision, then it's much easier to take people with you than if you're a single voice working outside of council trying to influence what goes on at the council table. So we're trying to work from the inside, not the outside.
What I love about the sound of this is that there is a well thought out plan. So there is a collective body of people with many differences, but in agreement on, I believe there is five main pillars. And can you just quickly remind everyone what those 5 are?
The first one is affordable rates. I've already been challenged about that because our rates are not affordable at the moment. So we can't bring the rates down. It's unlikely that that's going to happen, but we will stop the excessive rate rises that are planned for the future. So affordable rates, common sense decision making and spending. Again, I've been challenged about that. What is common sense? My common sense could be different to yours.
Yes.
But it's about understanding what people want and what they need to be able to make some good choices. And democracy over bureaucracy, making sure that we don't let our systems and processes dictate how we work with people, that people come first every time. We've got a coastal hazards plan that we want to make sure that we are not putting people's homes at risk with unfair rules and regulations, and we want to support the local economy through business as well.
Well, they sound to me like 5 very wonderful basic principles that really affect every ratepayer, and for those people that aren't ratepayers, I was thinking this the other day. It's like there are many young people out there that maybe don't even have homes. We want them out voting as well, don't we?
Oh, we need everybody out voting. The voting statistics in our district are terrible. At the last local body elections, I think one ward had a voter turnout of as low as 42%, and I think the highest was about 49%. So overall, we had less than half the people who could have voted actually out voting, making their voice known.
Right.
And so ratepayers, residents, renters, people who live in retirement villages who are paying to a body corp or some other situation, it's important that everybody who's a resident in the area who's on the electoral roll gets out and votes. You can't have democracy if only 50% of the people make their voices known. It's just not a thing.
Very wise words. So everyone listening to this today, please share and like these broadcasts, because it is so important that the positive message of change really does go far and wide. And the most important thing is that we vote, we make that tick count, and whoever it is that, like, I think it was, how many ticks do we make on those voting papers? Because I've met many people that really don't even know what all those names mean. They just tick every box.
And the advice and guidance around that is not great. So we have single transferable voting in our district, except for the mayoral vote, which is slightly different. That means that you are asked to rank the people that you would like to be standing and being part of your council. Many people think that you should rank everybody who stands, and in fact you should not. You should only rank the people you actually want to be at the table. So in my ward, in Paraparaumu, there are 3 councillors. So you choose the best 3 people and stop there.
Now this is great advice. Now, so tick 3. If you're
It's
in the
not a tick. I
Paraparaumu,
think you have to do 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. And Mayor, who are they to tick for Mayor? Dean Harris. Dean Harris. Well, thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you.
I loved hearing your passion. I love passion, because we want people in council that are serious about change. They are serious about getting the work done, and they have a good head on their shoulders for common sense. They're intelligent, they are thinkers, and this is what I love about this team. So thank you, Chris.
Thank you. And that wasn't as bad as I thought.
Didn't she do well? Give her a big... And granddaughter, look at this beautiful, beautiful necklace. Well done.
Thank you.